So, the circle of fifths. What does it all mean? Well, burp. A circle divided up into 12, clearly related to 12 semitones. Whoops. Sort of. Anyway, so C at the top, just for the hell of it. Then a fifth, G. Then another fifth, D. Then another fifth, A. Then another fifth, E. Then another fifth, B. And then, because we're going this way, we have an F sharp. Then going backwards, it's actually fourths. So F, B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Also known as G flat, C sharp, G sharp, you know, sort of. Anyway, so that's the basic structure. Now the interesting thing is that I'll put the relative minor of these on top. So the relative minor of C is A minor, and etc. So relative minor of G is E minor. Now A minor, E minor, or A, E, E is the fifth of A minor, so they're consistent. So this is B minor, relative minor to D. This is F sharp minor. You see, this is consistent with this A minor, E minor, B, A, E, B, so C sharp minor, G sharp minor, this is D minor, G minor, C minor, that would have to be F minor or something like that. Is that right? F minor and B flat minor. I'm just sort of going on this, and the relative minor of that would be, okay, G must be D sharp. Well, yeah, D sharp minor. Okay. So, fifths, fourths, relative minor is also fifths. The other way it's fourths. Now, the thing that I found interesting the other day is that you can also, if you want to, add the scales. Oh, actually the other interesting thing is that you have each one. So as you go up fifths, you add a sharp. And there is a method of working out where the sharp's going to be, but in any case, there's one sharp here, two sharps here, 3 sharps, 4 sharps, 5 sharps. Oh, so many sharps. Anyway, so etc. etc. This way is it goes a flat each step. So 2 flats, 3 flats, 4 flats. They're not, anyway, so something like that. But anyway, so there's a consistency there as well. I mean, the useful thing about this is that it creates a form, or a pattern, puts it into a pattern. But to relate it to the guitar or guitar string, the interesting thing was this. So you can add the scale. So you got D. So the scale of C has no sharps or flat. So it goes C to C. So you got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C in the middle. Anyway, sort of thing. Now that's that way. And then coming from this direction, you've got C, its opposite, or its complement, actually, strangely, is F sharp. And so if you build backwards, so you got F sharp, it then goes F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, D sharp, F, I'll put the F sharp in here, just to be, and then the C here. Now, the strange thing, or the interesting thing, is that, these are all the notes. There's 12 notes there, 12 separate notes, or so in a sense this is a string. You can relate this to being a string, as in so if you take one string and you start on let's call this the E string. So you've got E, F, F sharp, G, A, oh, shit. G sharp, A sharp, B, C. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Okay, I'll keep going. C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp. So, we've got C, D, E, F, G, A, oops, sorry. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll get rid of that C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is all on the one string, which is that, sort of. And then with the F sharp, you've got, I'll use red. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? Oh, there's a B there somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right. 5, 6, 7, 1. Let's say. So, and that adds up to semitones, or notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 14. It's 14 notes, but the fact of the matter is they share 2 notes. Anyway. I'm not sure what that means exactly, except that it's very useful in terms of if you play a C chord or a C scale, and then you play an F sharp scale, you've covered every note in the known universe. Every note is played. Some are played twice with different functions. And there's a thing called the tritone substitute, or the tritone, which is, say, if you play a C chord or a C7 chord, the tritone is F sharp 7, and they share 2 notes as well, which is what that does. So that's really useful in terms of modulations, or realizing that you're always a semitone away from the right note, basically, regardless of where you are. But anyway, the other interesting thing is that this these notes, so in terms of the guitar tuning, the classical tuning, which is well, if you look at one, two, three, four, 5, 6, classical tuning, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth string is E, A, D, G, B, E, and this is so it depending on how you want to look at it. This is the E string. That's the 6th. Let's call that the 6th string. The 5th string string, fifth string, fourth string, third string. This is the third string. This is the second string, and this is also the first string, theoretically. So just as you can do this with the from F sharp to C, you can do exactly the same thing with these. These can be represented as strings, like semitones, and so on and so forth. And if you start looking at the fretboard, you'll start seeing that you can. This tool is a way of finding your way around the fretboard quickly by just numbers. So, for example, if you play this note, that's that's a fifth. From there to there is a fifth. An octave. There to there is an octave. As is, they're all over the place. So if you go this way, it goes one, then a fourth, 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 because it jumps. If you go the other way, it's going backwards. It's actually a fifth, a fifth, a fifth, a fifth, a fifth, fifth below. Anyway, that's just navigation. Anyway, I'm sure that all of that is totally confusing. With this thing, you can also do the each one of these things. You can do the harmonizations. So D minor, E minor. These are all the chords in the key of C. F, let's say minor 7. F major, triangle representing major, 7, G 7, A minor 7, whoops, and B half diminished, circle with a line through the middle, so half diminished. It's the same here. You can do, G minor 7, G sharp minor 7, A sharp minor 7, etc. You could actually do another one of these circle of fifths with starting using minor keys and harmonizations as well, if you wanted to. Anyway, that there's a lot of material out there that gives you information about the circle of fifths, but really it is very theoretical, and although it's only as useful as it is useful. If it causes confusion, then it's not useful at all. It's of no use. It's one of those things that you come across and it's interesting, and then over years or decades you start to go, oh right, there's that and there's this and blah blah blah. So in and of itself, it's an interesting brain exercise to see the relationships. Like, I didn't realize until the other day that you could actually have, that these lines actually represent, you can represent those on a string. You know, in that they're all semitones and that they carry all of the notes, all of the 12 tones that exist. Anyway, that's I don't know whether that's of any use, but there you go. Circle of fifths. Fifths. Yep. Fourths. Oops, should be there. Fourths.